out this morning heading to our job over there at the old Tongue and Groove Wood House. It's a little chilly this morning. It's about freezing outside, about 30, 32 degrees. Tomorrow morning is going to be 18, which is unfortunate because I had to put the job off a day. So that puts us into tomorrow and probably Friday. But it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and get some materials out of my shop and head on over. Have some of my tools out, getting ready to start plotting out some of the holes in the ceiling. We can measure off some of the walls if we can see where they're at, measure off some of the electrical fixtures to find an open bay so we don't have to go drilling up for no reason. This is our attic space. Not too shabby. Nice open attic. Not a whole lot of insulation in the way. But here's our platform. And as you see, it doesn't look like it's quite together yet. So we'll probably end up having to finish this ourselves. Things that are supposed to be done. Hey, what can you do? Guys, I'm on the outside of the house here. I'm taking a line set up to the attic. We have our line hide back in on the wall. I'm going to bring it down a little bit lower here. We are going to roll around this way, but I'm not going to put it in line hide because the unit's going to be right here. Just want to move it away from that dryer vent. I'm going to widen that hole just a little bit. I had my hole saw drilled up through there. I think I'll widen it up a little bit because we're going to foam it shut whenever we're done. I'm going to go ahead and get this in place because tomorrow morning it'll probably be around 15 degrees here. So, I want to be inside. Alright guys, got my line set down. Got the line hide in place, as you see. A little messy up top there. I gotta put some white caulk up there. We get down to the bottom, we're gonna roll over to our condenser, which is gonna sit right here. There's a disconnect for it. The electrician just put that in. And there we go. One more thing done. Tomorrow will be the ductwork, but we have to put some boots up, some return boxes. We have the drain run down, run away from there's like 3 or 4 crawl space access. So I ran the drain over and brought it down. We have the line hide right there. We went out and ran around here. Our condenser is going to sit here, away from that dryer vent. And we're going to set that on Friday because tomorrow's going to be so cold. But that's how she looks at the end of the first day. Here's our 4x12 registers all finished. We cut a hole in the tongue and groove. Put the boot in just like we put a boot in the floor. Hammer it in with roofing tacks and put caulk around it wherever there's actually a hole to put caulk into. In the hallway, we have our Focus Pro 5000 thermostat, 51 degrees. That's inside, not outside, I can assure you. And we have 2 14x20 return grills we cut in the ceiling. We have to get our air handler in tomorrow, but there goes my brother telling me what temperature it is. Well guys, I'm leaving out this morning. It is cold as hell. 3-dog night, baby. It was about 15 this morning when I got up. Heading out to the job. Got my little space heater. Ready to knock this sucker out. Actually, I'm ready to go back and crawl into bed. But we're going to knock it out anyway because that is my occupation. And off we go. Yeah, like I said, it was a cold morning. I received a call that both the guys who were working with me yesterday, one of them had to go on a no-heat call, which was an emergency this morning. The other one's car wouldn't start. So it's that sort of morning. Real cold, having some problems with the vehicles. I'm glad mine started. The old van didn't start when it was this cold, that's for sure. But that's okay. We will persevere. Well, bad news. One of the guys, the truck wouldn't start, and then the car broke down. He was trying to take, poor guy. So, as soon as my brother gets here from his emergency no heat, since it was 15 degrees this morning, he can help me out. Right now, I'm just running flex across the attic to where the trunk's going to be. But today is definitely going to be a lot slower than I thought. And the weather really threw a wrench in the plan. Because it's pretty cold for North Carolina. We don't really know what to do when it gets this cold. We kind of freak out. Guys, we have our flex duct back there. You can hardly see it. I'm going to run to the center area here. I'm going to put a small metal trunk down here and a flex connector to come up to the 16-inch trunk that's going to come off of the air handler. So we're going to have a 16 run turning, going down here with some 12-inch flex to a little 12-inch trunk. Little flex runs over there coming from the rooms. Going to meet in the middle on the trunk over there. Here's a little bit of our trunk here. Our supply point on this is coming directly off the air handler. I had to add another extension of 16-inch pipe to that, get it to the proper truss bay. I'm about to go measure that on my HVAC grade notebook paper. I'll come down here and lay the rest of it out. Here's our ductwork. A couple of the takeoffs are already on it. I'm going to insulate it. It's all masticed up so it'll be nice and airtight. I'll put the other ones in place upstairs just because it'll be easier. And it won't fit through the hole with all those on there anyway. Alright guys, we got our trunk duct in. All the ductwork is finished. All these ducts you see in front of you actually double back to the bedrooms. In fact, the first 3 are bedrooms. Had the bathroom and the undescribable area, which looked like it was once a laundry. Both have 6-inch ducts. These come back. We have a return behind us. There's our return box. Give you plenty of room to mix the air. Aluminum slant coil. I think the last one was copper, but this one's aluminum this time, or tin coated copper. X13 motor. Actually set it up with the same blower taps I used on the previous job, since it's the exact same motor. 8 kW, and our ductwork is done. So we're going to move on to putting nitrogen on it for the night, and going to start it up in the morning. Alright guys, here's our Bryant heat pump. Got it on the old risers there, about 3 inches off the ground. Everything's looking pretty good and square. It's our line hide. We ran our lines around the side, give us a nice service area coming back this way. So there's plenty of room, you don't have to put it up against the house and sandwich anything in, so it's tough to work on for our disconnect. Keeping it out of the way of our dryer vent as much as possible. And our crawl space hole, everything came out good. Tomorrow we're going to come in the morning and start everything up and do some of our testing. We are back on the job Saturday morning here to start up the unit. Put the unit into vacuum. Wanted to make sure it held nitrogen overnight, which it did. It's going to take a while today. It's about, I don't know what temperature is right now, but somewhere in the 30s. So it's going to take a little while to pull a vacuum. The air handler's on, emergency heat's running, so hopefully it warms up that evaporator coil a little bit. But I'm going to go up in the attic and drill the holes for static pressure. Get ready for We have a drill and our drill bit set here, and there's my static pressure, the old field piece, and the static pressure tubes. We're going to drill a hole here, and then one on the opposite end of the air handler, and see what we got going through there. Last time we had to drill a hole in the air handler because we had a media filter on the end of it, but this time, since the filter is at the grill, we can just drill it in the plenum. We have the field piece on here, one probe in the return box, one right around the corner there in the supply duct. You might see it, you might not. You're just gonna have to believe me. It's 0.54 to 0.56 static, about the exact same as the last job we did, the one-man show job. So our CFM numbers are gonna be about the exact same, between 900 and 1,000, depending on if regular heat or emergency heat's running. So we're gonna let this run. The vacuum's going outside. Start packing up some trash, and then we can start things up whenever the vacuum gets done. We're going to compare the static pressure reading, which puts us around 1,000 CFM with the auxiliary heat running, to the DAFM3 to see how close they are. We're going to take the 2 return grills, add them together, and then we'll get our total CFM. I had the supply probe put into one of the outlets that first come off of the duct system. Gets a lot of good airflow, so it's almost like putting it right at the air handler. It's a good sense of supply air. This is my return probe and one of the return grills. There are 2 grills. I'm using this one, although there might be a little temperature variation between the 2. It shouldn't be very much. We have been running for about, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. I don't really remember. We're in the right ballpark. Our suction pressure is a little bit higher than the chart. But again, the temperature's probably gone up a degree or 2. And we are 274 at head pressure. Right in the ballpark. Close enough where I probably won't do anything on it. I'd take a look at it in the spring and just fine tune the charge. Because heating charge is a little bit, not as exact as cooling charge. But it's heating well. We're getting about, I guess about 40 degrees heat up, but we have the strips on as well. 8 kW. As you see, we are getting 1000 CFM with the DAFM3, which confirms the static pressure. The same amount on the static pressure blower curve. Everything's looking good. I'm pretty sure we're cold enough already. We should be cold enough already.
Yeah, I think so.
See, that's how it happened. Our defrost cycle for today. It works! Oh, happy day! Let it run its course. Our fan shuts down, our compressor's running and cooling. Go for a minute or 2 and come back to life. There she is, back in heat mode. Actually pretty quiet transfer there. I guess because the pressure's so low.